Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Tuesdays with Paula. I'm Paula K Bronte, your Master Rapid Eye Technician. And today's topic is say goodbye to stress. Well, the way that we say goodbye to stress is by saying hello to something else. So it's very important as we go through our lives these days. The big thing is stress, right? Oh, we use the word a lot, by the way. This is stressful. That's stressful. Oh, you stress me. I don't want to be stressed. Let's just begin with the word. Words are heard very clearly and registered in the subconscious and out in the energetic field. And they carry vibration, they carry energy, thoughts carry energy, words carry energy, and they're creative. And the subconscious is not very hard to program. It programs pretty easy. So the word for the subconscious, okay, I get it. That's the order, right? That's the order you just put in. I'm your waitress, and I'm going to bring you what you ordered. And so start noticing, just to begin with, how often you use the word stress. Next thing is recognizing, really understanding that in and of itself, nothing is stressful. It's all the way we look at it, right? We know Shakespeare said nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So you can have two people that have the exact same experience happening. Let's say somebody's car is stolen, and one person totally freaks out. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Goes into that panic. You get that knot in your gut, and it's a crisis. Another person could have their car stolen, and it's like, okay, well that kind of sucks, but let's see what good can come out of this. Let's see how I can manage this and handle it. And so one of the things that I've heard makes us survivable, right? The thing that will make us most survive and keep us alive through some of the major changes that we're experiencing is our ability to adapt. The more adaptable we are, the less susceptible we are to responding to external stimuli with stress. So let's just take a minute and put some space between us and stress and understand that nothing is stressful. It's how we respond to it, how we manage it, and how we adapt to it. It's really, if we were to chisel it down, right, Marianne Williamson, a wonderful speaker and teacher, has told us, she teaches the Course in Miracles, and the Course in Miracles tells us there are really only two feelings, two emotions, fear or love. Everything else is just gradations and degrees in between. So stress, if we were to, chisel that down to its core, is fear. So instead of, nobody wants to walk around saying, gee, I'm afraid, I'm fearful, right? It makes us look pretty weak. Well, some people are willing to be that honest, but generally speaking, we're not going to say, when we're running late for work, oh, I'm afraid, this is fearful, right? We say it's stressful. But the fact is, it's stressful because you're afraid. You're afraid you're going to get chastised, lose your job, look bad, whatever it is, lose the client. It comes down to fear and lack of confidence in ourselves. When we are stressed by an experience, it means that we don't have the confidence in ourselves or in life to manage it and handle it and see what gifts are actually hidden within that particular challenge. So understand, starting out, that stress has a lot to do with, number one, how we're programming our subconscious by using the word all the time to ourselves, with each other, right? I mean, all the people that are going to watch this, you were all attracted because they used the word stress. So just begin to understand that piece of it. And the other one is noticing, is taking your attention from out there to inside and noticing how you are responding to situations that feel and seem stressful. And then start exploring how you can handle this differently. People that meditate consistently every day, even if it's just 10 minutes, respond to stressors differently. People that consistently listen to positive affirmations or positive speakers respond to stress differently. People that do build in self-care, that do get enough sleep, get enough water, get a little exercise, right? Because again, that stress response is a physical reaction. It's what happens when we go into the fight or flight, right? The parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system start to go out of balance, and it's a physical thing. So when we're exercising regularly, and I'm not talking about running marathons, 20 minutes a day can help keep the serotonin and the dopamine and the hormones flowing enough so that we are more able to adapt when external stress comes to us. Another thing is I would avoid the news. And I'm not saying to stick your head in the sand. I'm just telling you that personally, I don't listen to much of the news. And what I set out there as my intention is if there's something important for me to know, then please bring it to my attention. And invariably, somebody will tell me something that I needed to know, something I could pray for, or something that would somehow, was important for me to know about. Or if you do listen to the news, keep it, 10 minutes a day. Find somebody that's really succinct, going to give you the things that are most important to you or interesting to you, and then let it go. Never fall asleep at night with the news running. And when you wake up in the morning, if you're a news person, wait at least a half an hour so that you are fully out of that theta state. When we're asleep, we go down into theta and delta, and we're very, very suggestible. So before going to sleep, and as we first wake up, we're in that state. And that's when your subconscious is most ripe and open for programming. So that's when you want to avoid news, and it's when you want to bring yourself into a state of peace and clarity. So let's just review. First thing is to start watching the word stress. Don't say it so much. Second thing is to put some space between you and the thing that you perceive as a stress, knowing that the thing in itself is not stressful. How you perceive it is. And start working on noticing what your main stressors are. For instance, mine is being late. Okay, I don't like to rush. It's not so much being late, it's about rushing. And so, as I said earlier, understand that that's really fear. Why are you afraid of being late? Why are you, and what was it that caused you to not be conscious enough to time yourself properly so that you could move forward with peace? Another piece of stress that's very, very important is, of course, doing your inner work consistently, whatever that may be. And I'm 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, getting your meditation in and really looking at different ways of perceiving. Knowing that the more adaptable you are, the more you're able to deal with things that could be highly stressful. And also really being aware of the fact that people that are not as stressed about a situation as another one, for instance, I just mentioned, for those of you that just joined, if someone has their car stolen, one person could really freak out about it, another person could say, well, it sucks, but let's see what's the gift in this. The difference between those two people very much is their relationship with their spirit. The relationship that they have with that aspect of themselves that they know is fully connected and controlled by the divine, whatever you consider the divine to be. Daily attention to, for me, it's angels and it's ascended masters and it's my own God presence. It's my own presencing of pure light. Whatever it is for you, 5, 10, 15 minutes every day, making sure that that is anchored, that that is deeply strong in you. Because then when an external comes up, your ability to adapt to it and to see it in a much bigger way is automatic. And now we're going to go into the rapid eye piece, because what I just said, right, is about left brain, right brain to a large degree. The person that gets the car stolen and freaks out, that left brain immediately takes over, sees the details, sees the what ifs, goes into survival. Right? It's a bit of the more trauma we've had in our lives, the more PTSD type symptoms we have, the easier it is for us to go into that kind of panic and overwhelm very easily. So no, that's left brain activity. So when someone has done some of the exercises that I've taught you, your side to side, your tapping, people that come for rapid eye sessions, no matter where you live, who you are, if you want to be able to adapt and therefore reduce your stress level and therefore survive the changes that are happening, I'm telling you, you want to get some rapid eye. I work remote, and there are many rapid eye techs all over the world. Go to the Rapid Eye Institute, look at the directory and find somebody near you, or call me. It doesn't matter, get some Rapid Eye done. Because when you get that left brain quieting down and in balance with the right brain, you're able to see the big picture. You're able to become the person that when their car gets stolen says, oh, well, okay, not great, but maybe it is great. We don't know. Adapt. When we're left brain tight and controlled, it's really difficult to adapt. Every little thing can be overwhelming. Everything puts us into fear. We get that knot in our gut. And the physiological experience starts to take over. And then it's really tough to calm ourselves down and see it differently. So if you get some Rapid Eye done, your body, because Rapid Eye is a body experience, your body will begin to automatically respond differently to outside stress. And I said earlier that the way to say goodbye to stress is to say hello to something else. Well, the first thing I would like to tell you to say hello to is getting some Rapid Eye done. The second thing is saying hello to, like I said earlier, the possible gift in the situation. Putting your attention on something else. Let's say it's just regular everyday stressors. I use being late, for instance. There may be somebody at your job that really irritates you and you find it stressful. Your children. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things these days. Money, relationships. I just did a class on this last night, right? Money, relationships, health. Those are really the three main ones, right? If somebody's moving, getting a divorce, these are all major stressors. And so the way you say goodbye to the potential stress that lies within a situation is by saying hello to something else. So, for instance, when you're moving, you're not leaving a place. Oh, I'm leaving this place, I'm going to miss it so much. No, you're going to something else. So every time you look at something that could be stressful, take a look, first of all, at what you can do to manage yourself differently so that you don't run into that, head on into that situation, right? Maybe leave a little bit earlier so you meditation in. And then say, what else can I look at that feels better? Abraham Hicks, reach for that thought that feels better. That's how you say goodbye to stress, is by saying hello to something else. Every single thing, every experience, every situation will have two sides, right? We live in a duality here. And part of the reason we're here, I believe, is for us to come to fully embrace and master the contrast and the duality that we've come into. And so every situation has both sides of the coins. I talked about Marianne Williamson earlier. It's either fear or love. Everything has within it either fear or love. And depending on how you look at it, your perception, your perspective, you're going to have that experience. So just take away from this talk a couple of things. One, knowing that nothing in itself is stressful. Right? That would mean that it has power over you. And nothing has power over you. No person, place, condition, or thing has any power over me. Make it your mantra. Secondly, knowing that doing inner work on a regular basis, self-care, even that, I know when I talk to clients about that, they say, oh, that's stressful because I don't have the time. Well, it pays to sit back and restructure your life a bit, right, so that you do have the time. Because otherwise, you're just going to be running on a treadmill. When I worked for Stephen Covey, there was a great story that he would tell, and it's in his book. Walking through the woods, and there's a guy chopping down a tree with a saw, a hand saw. And he's really not getting anywhere because the saw is really dull. So he says to the guy, why don't you stop for a second and sharpen your saw? The sharpener's right there. And the guy says, no, I don't have time. I have to keep going. I don't have time. I got to get this tree cut. Doesn't make any sense, does it? It's going to take him 10 times as long to get the tree cut if he would take 2 minutes to sharpen it. So sharpen your saw. And it's a lot easier to just live life. And also, if you do some of these things, what's going to happen, especially if you do those tools I've been giving you, the left and right and the tapping, there will be less situations that tend to be stressful showing up for you, right? The external is going to reflect every single time what's happening on the deep, true internal, right? Not just the story you're telling yourself on the surface, but the real deep inner programming, whether it's from you or from somebody else. That's what's going to show up on the outside. So if you are somebody who has your whole life responded to things as stressful, as fearful, as, oh my God, and that's most of us, really. Especially, as time goes on and we're seeing some of the things happening in the world, we're getting more and more to that place where we are reacting in a big way. Get some rapid eye. It's become a survival tool. And what's cool about it is that you really can go from surviving to thriving in spite of what's happening around you. When we hear the word thrive, we think it's all external. Oh, they have the great car, they have the great house, they have the American dream, they have the money. Thriving is internal. Okay, say goodbye to stress. Stop using the word and see things differently. Even if your initial response to it is, oh my God, stop and notice that and say, okay, take some deep breaths, do a little tapping and say, okay, what could be the gift in this? What could be the gift in this? And then just allow it to show up for you. And know that you have the confidence to handle it. Right? That's the other thing that I said earlier that causes some fear and stress is that we don't know. We don't have that deep inner knowing that no matter what happens, we can handle it. So start finding ways to build the confidence. Right? Look every day. Look at the things that you do that are accomplishments, even if they're very small. And say, okay, I did that. I'm an accomplisher. I can accomplish these things. And start building the confidence to know that you have the ability to adapt. And it just makes life easier, right? That's what all these talks that I've done is about, making life easier. No matter what's happening externally. Staying connected to your spirit. Staying connected to your soul. Knowing that you are an offspring of God. Whatever God is for you. You are a part and an aspect of that. And that strength is infinite. And so take 5 minutes a day to find whatever way you can to tap into that infinite strength. And then things are not going to look as stressful. And the stressful things won't come to you so much because the law of attraction won't be bringing them to you. And there'll be more peace. Okay. All right. And when we think of those people that are in places like Texas and Florida that are being hit with some of these disasters, many of us go into fear or we go into sorrow. My suggestion would be notice that, allow that, but then go deep inside and find that connected peace that you have with the divine and ask that the divine bless them in whatever way possible in this situation. Send light. As we move forward right now after the eclipse, and as we move forward claiming and developing these superpowers that I've been talking about, know that light is your greatest friend, it's your greatest weapon, it's your greatest tool of adaptability. Send light. Send light to the little stressors in your life. Send light to the big stressors. Send light to your children that drive you crazy. Send light, tons of light, to those people in Texas and Florida. It's the thing that's going to keep us growing and moving forward and thriving internally and externally. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you spend this week noticing the habit of saying, oh, that's stressful, oh, I'm stressed. You say, oh, wait a minute, am I really? Do I have to be? Maybe not. And take that word stress out of vocabulary. Okay, bless you all very much. Before I leave, just going to remind you, here it is, my beautiful book, Call to Mastery. You can get it on Amazon, hard copy, or you can also get an ebook or Kindle. Okay. Bless you all. Have an amazing week. Any questions? Anybody want to have a session and know why I talk about rabbit eyes so much? Just send me an email. Paula K Bronte @gmail. Bless you. Have a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful, thriving week. Bye-bye.